Fridays love blue, and I didn't realize it, but look at this view. We have our blue linen sheets with us. We are sitting out here doing a devotional meditation and activation. And as I was tapping into the color blue, based on the messages that we received, I realized it's all around me. Before we get to the cards, I wanted to share a few messages that came from our powwow. And on our flower walk today, we were told to power down all of our devices because there's a new electrical current that is emerging, and we were asked to bring them outside. So your phones, your AirPods, your laptops, anything that you use regularly, any type of headphones, even like your speaker, bring it outside for it to and unplug it, turn it off for it to recalibrate to receive the new electricity that's emerging. So when we did our flower walk today looking for blue, I didn't have my phone with me, and it was very difficult actually to find a lot of the blue flowers. When I finally when I did a bird's eye view, I was able to see that they are the teeniest, tiniest, layered within. They're kind of inconspicuous, that they are the baby's breath of like the little blues. They're the forget-me-nots, and we were able to find them, and they were grown in places that weren't expected. It wasn't initially planted there, but there's like these little, they look like pansies, and just these little tiny blue little flowers that showed up. And when you get into the throat chakra and your Fridays and Saturdays, which are the throat, which could be anywhere from the sky blue to the serene blues to the aqua blues, to the aquamarine colors. Your throat chakra has so many different facets to it. And then you go into your third eye, which deepens the colors. As we were tapping into the blue, when it comes to our sips, I will show you in a bit. It's seeping right now, but it's the butterfly pea flower, which is blue matcha. And that is great for pain. And it's also a fun science experiments to do with kids. But today's messages were beautiful and powerful, and there's such a reverence, but a childlike wonderment in the reverence. There's a calm, and they say the calm before the storm, but this is different than that. I try to each day represent in the colors of the day. So today we have on a lot of different blues. So today's messages from our powwow was to first see the unseen. So if you have corrective lenses, and this message just keeps coming through, if you have corrective lenses or contacts, to take them out in this season, to allow your eyes to be in the blur and allow the colors, because the colors are seen differently when you are not focusing on them, just allowing the colors to be in your vision. When it was it wasn't the calm before the storm, it was the rest before the rise up, is what we're going through. It is the sacred pause before the power up, and that's when we were asked to power down everything for it to receive. And if you are if you are attuned to Reiki, pouring in your Reiki into those devices. And this was unplugging everything that you use really much daily. So in giving it, allowing it to rest, to power down, to pause before it powers up, to rest before it rises back up. The same thing goes with our physical vessels, that while we're sleeping in the rest period in the morning, when we rise up, we're rising up into a new energy. We're rising up into a new frequency that is evolving. We have a hummingbird with us. The other beautiful messages were to, and this came through in Akashic Reiki in in her intuitive community. The meditation for this week was to receive in all of the sounds that are around you. And when you do that, when you set that intention to receive them in stillness, in your sacred pause, in your meditations, it doesn't allow them to deter you. The garbage truck coming by, would that pop you out of your meditation? It's listening to all the sounds, the planes going above, the sprinkler in the neighbor's yard, the birds, all the different types of birds that you hear, and take, instead of, trying to just be in quiet and stillness, that is your meditation. And so for the last couple of days, that's what I've been doing, is allowing myself to sit within the vision and frequency of heaven on earth and bring in all of the different sounds, the hummingbird buzz, all the different birds. Like, what I thought was a hawk is actually a woodpecker, and they have this very high pitched call. And then you follow it and see if you can actually see the bird that you're hearing. What happens to the crows when a hawk or an eagle even gets nearby, that everyone goes into a flutter and a flurry. It's listening to the apples drop from the tree because it's the end of the season. That squirrels make their own sound, and they have these conversations when you listen to them, and when they want you to hear them, they will let you know. And how freely they roam, and you could hear their little feet, the pitter patter on the fence line. When you listen to it, you can hear the water drops from the flower pots that you just watered. It all becomes a symphony. It's a symphony of sound. It's a symphony of just creation. And it's the new frequencies, and you can hear all the noises. And that's why I was asked to do this outside. It's the sound frequencies have changed, even when you do your own humming or sound chambers. And Fridays are pillow parties. Fridays are fun, the finally understanding nothing. Fridays is when we release all the work that we've been doing in forgiveness throughout the week, through our jam sessions and everything we've upcycled, all the trash can truths, all the boomerangs. Come Friday, we get to let it all go. It is where this is where my pillow parties started, my horizontal pillow parties. I lay on the pillow, I turn on music, and I just allow my body to move and flow. And in today's barefoot walk, when we were asked to do the rise up, when you greet the sun in its rise, there are additional energies. They're kind of cosmic brownie points of gamma rays that come through. And if you stand without your glasses on or anything corrective, allowing your eyes to adjust to the rising sun, there is this energy that it's indescribable. And we sat in gratitude because when we began this a couple years ago, I could barely take the steps from my pillow, from my bed, to even get myself to the grass. And I chose the closest spot, and whatever, if it was, it's facing east for the invocation of energy, and that's where I would be. And over the years, my feet have imprinted in that. And then recently, with this energy shift and the strength that each and every one of those walks gave me, I can now greet the sun and find and stand in the spot and take those extra steps to be where the sun is rising versus standing there waiting for the sun to come to me. We sat in gratitude because now our footprints are kind of growing over. They are lush where they weren't before. You were literally, you could see the ground and your feet imprinted, and it was to the right hand side of this stone. And now we realize that with the sun coming in, we are more to the left hand side. And so we're building and kind of building new footprints. And our old footprints were really close together, and our new footprints are their stance is widened and strengthened, and there's just such beauty and grace and gratitude in that evolution that's happened with our barefoot walks. And today we were on the completely other side, which would have been double the steps to get to a few years ago, which we wouldn't have ever dared to. We were maxed out in doing that 10 minutes, if that. And now we can stand there for double that amount of time. And we can do our lymphatic draining and just rise up our body. And we were set to see the difference and the changes and sit in the gratitude of the evolution of this day and this period that we're in. So it's not the calm before the storm. It's the rest before the rise up. It's the sacred pause before the power up. That's what this energy is, and this is showing in the Schumann resonance, where we're getting very little energy coming from the outside or upside. We are sitting in the 0 point, and that is the sacred pause before the power up. That is the rest before the rise. And there's no concept of time in this current kind of energy that we're in. You are given the energy needed to complete whatever task that is, and there's no time frame to it. There's no rush to anything. Everything is in flow. It's in surrender. Intuitive cooking creations with our garden harvest is where my energy has been asked to be placed, and we have been making all of these soups. I think we're on our 4th intuitively guided recipe of soups, and this week we did the blue zone. I mean, perfect for today. We did a blue zone bean soup using the beans we got from our garden, adding the 5 bean mix because we didn't quite have enough, and then all of the garden harvest is in it, in the vegetables, and just so much yum. A few of the other ones we did this week was a roasted vegetable soup. We also did a vegetable soup. Last week we did spaghetti because we have a ton of tomatoes that we didn't know what to do with, and a roasted vegetable spaghetti, which it had so much depth, and it has just been so much fun. So I'm just going to tap in. I feel like the messages we received today are going to be reflective in our colors for the day. And there'll be more of a confirmation versus receiving additional messages. Crows do not like hawks coming into or any type of bird coming into their sanctuary, that's for sure. We have a bluebird from earlier today. We had an owl just a couple days ago. But yeah, sitting within the meditations, and if you haven't found Akashic April, please look her up because she's pretty amazing. She is amazing, and her community is by far on par with all of the current collective energies. And she does such a great job of keeping that purity and expansion happening in the evolution of this. And you can come every Wednesday, and I think it's 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. PST, and it's only $11 a month. And there's so much goodness in the library, past hugs that she's put together. On to our color story of the day. So for the color of the day, let's find out what we're working with. Ooh, expression. And this one came out again, I think yesterday. So it fits with our colors of the day and sitting within the blue. And this is just everything you're doing to express yourself in your intuitive channel, being within the frequencies of your love joy. And whether that's, for me, it's the intuitive cooking creations. For you, it may be in art or other creative ways. Creating music. Fridays are awesome for sound chambers. When you're doing your Reiki dancing, the message that came through yesterday was if you have a vibration plate or you do somatic shaking, bring sound into it, bring sound into your meditations. You put your sound out there and see what comes back to you in the boomerang from the animals and the sounds around you. The garbage truck has a very unique rhythm that it does, and it's screech, and it makes its own sound and frequency. The sprinklers, as they go off, there is sound and frequency and a rhythm to that. Every rhythm is a repeat, and this is where, for me, I put my rainbow on repeat, and that's how I get to tap into the beauty of each day and the surrender within it, and also the vibrations and frequencies of all of the colors and sounds around us. Everything has shifted. So test it out if you've never tested, if you haven't tested it out recently. If you're not a singer, try singing. Your heart song will come through. And that is, I guess we are receiving messages and broadcasting from the forgiveness frequency. So we have emotions, and this is where you feel it, see it in color, and heal it. You're not spending a lot of time with it. And most of the time right now, what's coming up for you is just ready to be flowed through. And or you are doing it for the collective because you've already been through it and you have the tools, colors, keys, and codes to upcycle it quickly. So whatever emotions are coming through for you, allow yourselves to feel it, good, bad, or indifferent. See it in color. And a lot recently, it's just love joy. It's bliss. And it's like, ooh, I love this emotion. How do I amp this up? How do I amplify this? And you can do that through connecting with the color, and sound is another great way to do it. So this is, see it, feel it, see it in color, and heal it. Our self-esteem, this is stepping into who you are authentically, living your authentic life, allowing yourself to be seen and heard in who you are now, and releasing all past versions of yourself in grace and gratitude, and celebrating how far you've come, celebrating how many more steps a day that you can take because of the strength that you've built in your daily devotions and practices of self-love and pouring back into you. And every day, no matter what, I need to do this, or I want to do that, or I get to do this, pour into you so then the universe can pour into you. You've got to do you first. And whether that's your barefoot sunrise, your meditation, your movement, your muscle movement, your dancing on your pillow, your somatic shaking, or vibration plate, whatever that is for you, whatever makes you feel good, do that first, and then everything else will align, and you will have the energy to do it, and time is of no matter anymore. So this is just authentically, just really the power in you is what is being asked to come through, especially on today, and that is speaking your truth, saying what needs to be said and don't hold back, sharing your experiences and soundboarding them out, whether you do it through video diaries or journals or vlogs for yourself, or you're journaling it out. Say what needs to be said and live in the truth of who you are. You are a multidimensional, multi-passionate being of the highest divine order. And this is your time to stand in your truth and power and say it. Even if you get that's cool, okay. And they may not believe you. You've spoken it out. And sometimes just speaking it puts it's not sometimes. You speaking it puts that ripples and waves into the universal grid, into the unseen grid. Your vibration has already brought it to life. And by speaking it, even on deaf ears, you have set that wave and ripple and pulsation out there, it will reach who it needs to reach. It will be embedded and weaved into the thread of creation. It will reach the edges of the cosmic core and cosmic heart, and then it will ripple back to you. And you will find those, you will see those confirmations in others. May not be the person you spoke to, but it will resonate at some point for them. But you just need to continue to speak it and to live it and to be fully in who you are in this now moment and embrace it, because you are so beautiful. And presence, that is what this moment is. That is just bringing us into the beautiful flowers that are all around us, sitting in the presence of yourself and the grace and gratitude that there's so much grace right now. Taking the moment to listen to what's around you, to hear the symphony that's being played in your honor, in your presence, in your timeline, in your energy, in your frequency, in your vibration, and living those sacred pauses and moments in full presence, to be here now and just to enjoy and to dance and to celebrate this moment, because it's that powerful. And I can't tell you how all of these are lining up to what was given today is your personal power. All of this is that rise up, the rest before the rise up, and that's what you're in. You are building on your confidence, your personal power, your own pillar of light and frequency, and be the light for others. Allow your divine light to be guided by the divine Father, Mother, God. But you are the light for others, the lighthouse for others to follow when you are in your full presence and living your authentically, speaking your truth, showing up in all of your glory and blazing glory of color, and to know that you evoke emotions in others based on them watching you and observing you and the beautiful life that you are creating in color. And you get to decide. You get to decide what today is going to be. If today is going to be a great day, if today is going to be all these colors combined, you get to decide what you do with this day. Who gets to be within your orbit? Who you get to share this love joy with? Everything from this point on is your decision and your path forward and your expansion. You choose whether it's going to be a weird next year, all this stuff that's coming out. You get to choose if it's going to be magical and mystical and fun and awe-inspiring and beautiful and peaceful. You get to decide if you're going to be living in heaven on earth, or you are going to be living in a different type of energy. And lastly, communication, sharing it, sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, sharing your light in your communication. Your voice is the frequency, it's the vibration, it's the healing, it's the color, it is it all, and it's coming out of you in how you are divinely meant to, whether that is through singing and dancing, whether that's just sharing your story, that is speaking out loud, that is just whatever you do that you love to do and do it in joy. Share that with others, and share this with your family. Share who you are and what you love and how you have become. Wow, this is a beautiful color story, and thank you so much for joining me. I don't want to keep you too long, but thank you for sitting within this frequency of forgiveness, and I will see you on the other side of this rainbow.